Okay, what we're going to do is examine this antler right quick and want to show you what I'm talking about. You can see the gap in between the antler and the skin. Evidently this fellow or whoever it was that mounted this piece some time ago did not put anything around the antler burr to eliminate the shrinkage of the skin. Or tried to and didn't put enough. I'm chipping out a little bit of material now right here. It looks a whole lot like I guess you can see this. I don't know if the camera's not really focusing in on it, but it looks like paper mache or either plaster. So what we're going to do, we're going to fix this by putting a little bit of epoxy in here in this gap, and then we're going to resculpt this piece. Now, as you can see, I've got my epoxy right here all mixed up. If you're not familiar with epoxy, what I use is what they call epoxy sculpt, and I used a natural color. I don't like to use the pre-colored stuff. And this is not the same thing as any clay. I don't like to use the epoxy clay around these antlers, and I also do not use modeling or molding clay. You want to use the epoxy. This will set up. Paper mache will not work either. So get your epoxy sculpt. Now you neat this up, you mix this up 50-50. It comes in 2 different canisters, and you neat this up to be excuse me to be a putty. Quick. But you mix this up into a putty. This is compatible with water. I like to dip this in water and I'm talking about cold water, while I'm kneading this up. I'm going to take a small piece of this stuff, and I'm going to just put it into the crack of the antler, which is real simple. Take your tool, kind of mash it and cram it in there. But just push this into that space and leave some of it sticking out from underneath the burr. What we're going to do, we're going to go back over this just in a few minutes, and we're going to create bumps and lumps and ridges in this burr. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some water and put it on my fingers. I'm just going to start smoothing this out a little bit and contrasting this into the antler. Water affects this stuff and just has a really good effect on it. Really good thing is it causes it to be a little bit more pliable. Now I'm just going to start sculpting this into the antler a little bit. Next, I'm going to take a tool. I got this needle here, flat end. I'm going to start cutting the bottom of it, or pushing it in between the hairline, around the hairline, to create I'm dipping my tool into this water and creating this undercut of the antler burr. Now what I'm going to do is take my tool and I'm just going to start creating all kinds of little ridges and crevices, and I'm trying to sculpt what appears to be part of the antler, and I'm going to push some of this back up on the antler and create little lumps and bumps and ridges. The antler, you know, your antler's not perfect, and it's got all kinds of knots and holes in it and everything, so what we're trying to do is just divide this up in little ridges. Take a good look at an antler. Look at this antler and try to line it up to what you've got already. You can see, I hope you can see this in the camera, how it's starting to come together. if it's got a little ridge coming off the antler, try to create that ridge and extend it a little bit. There's nothing perfect though in nature, so there's no need in trying to get this absolutely perfect. Now, once we get this done, what we're going to do is take our airbrush. We're going to let it set up a little bit. If you want to, you can wash it down just a little bit with some water. I usually don't, but let this set up. Okay, as you can see, this is set up pretty good. It's firmed up right much. So what I want to start off with painting this thing, I'm going to color this back up with some yellow ochre, water-based paints. That's what I like to use. So we're gonna use our airbrush. I'm gonna back this out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little bit more. And I'm just gonna hit this real light. I'm not going to overpower everything. As you can see also, I'm going to blend up onto the antler with this yellow ochre. I'm going to do the same thing with my darker paint. The next step. Now, next color I'm going to go with on this is a dark brown. This is all water-based again, and I'm going to lighten, darken this areas that I built up with this brown. Then I'm just going to let it kind of fade over onto the antler itself. I'm not going to hit it real hard with the brown until I can get the color, exact color I'm wanting. I'm trying to hold back on too much at one time, fogging it as I go. I'm going to also blend it up the antler just a wee bit just to help give it a look, blend, to help blend it. Now at this time I'm just going to touch the top of these burrs that I've created just to give it a little bit of a depth. Or a little bit of a worn look. Now I'm going to take a little bit of yellow ochre into my finger, and I'm just going to touch these upper areas here just to help lighten things up. Just to help blend it, I guess you can say. And I'm just going to blend this with my finger. I won't even get it on the antler itself. Next, I'm going to gloss this with a little bit of Rust-Oleum crystal clear enamel. Just enough to give it a look, just to help blend it a little bit, and just give it a little bit of a shine, not much. Next, I'm going to go around the hair with an old toothbrush and just kind of get all the paint out of the hair. Brush this out. All of this doesn't take that long. It's a quick repair. You're just going to have to play with this on your own and get used to doing this type of thing. I charge $20 for just this one side. In other words, both sides going to run somewhere right around $40 to have this done. Now this is up to you. This is your pricing system. If you want to charge more or less, that's up to you. But anyway, here's the way you repair these antlers. And